Okay, pilot's going to go over how to splice end loops into unsheathed line. Tools you need a fine point Sharpie. You need some tweezers that once you close them, they lock closed. And then you want some guitar string. You use different diameters of it. Bend them in half like this and just tape the ends, and then use this to actually run through the core of the unsheathed line. And so you can use thinner ones for thinner lines and thicker ones for thicker lines. And you'll know you have the right size because once you stick it in, it'll go in easy, but it won't go in so easy that it keeps poking through the sides, and so it's a little bit of a balance there, but you'll get it after a while. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to make an end loop, so we're going to go 120 millimeter splice. So there's my mark, my apex, and then once I get my apex, I'll crease it, and then I'll put it on the ruler, and I want to make two marks at 30 millimeters on each side, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a line the next size down. So this is 340 kilograms, so the next size down is 280 kilogram, and I'm going to cut a piece 50 millimeters of that to insert into this. This ends up being 60, and this is 50, so it actually will transition down and not be too thick at the very end. It'll be back a little hair like that. And you can use the same diameter line, but you're going to want to make this loop 35, 70 overall, because it'll be thicker and it'll shorten up the loop too much. So you can use this, but I always go with the size smaller. It makes it a lot easier. So this is 340. I'm using 280 here. And we're going to insert this into the core of the loop right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your guitar string and you're going to go into the first 30 millimeter mark and head towards the other 30 millimeter mark, and you just swoosh it up so it can enter the core. And if you poke through the side, just back up, and sometimes you put some resistance on it so it goes up like accordion, and you can milk it. And you're going to go out the other 30 millimeter mark, go out enough so you can get your fingernail in it and open it up more, because you're going to stick this one inside there. Slide it to the end, bend it back the last 1/4 inch, crease it, and then we're going to slide this back over because we're going to insert this into the core of the loop. And so what I'll do is I'll grab this tweezers, and because I don't want to lose it, lock it on the end, and then I'm going to milk this down now. Swoosh it up, roll it, get it over it, pull it out the other end. And then what I'm going to do is, it's locked at this end, so I'm going to pull this so this just goes in past that mark and a little more so then. So it's just entering now. I want to go a little bit more so it's not right at the mark, it's just before it. And then pinch it, release the lock, and then milk this down, and now it's inside. So it's in between these two marks, but it's not right against the mark. It's about, 1/8 inch back on either one. Then we're going to bend this back to its loop shape, line up the 230 mil marks, crease the apex mark. That's my end loop. And now I'm going to go down here. Okay, this is where it ends, my splice. So I'm going to go a little bit past it, and that's where I'm going to start inserting my guitar string here. And you'll see what I'm doing here in a second. So I'm going to squish it up so I can get it in the core. And then I'll milk it along, give it some back pressure so it'll get wider. Then milk it, milk it, milk it. Go all the way to the first mark, 30 mil mark, and come out there. Okay, go past it so I can get my fingernail in it and open it up. So I'm going to take the tail of that and stick that in there. Slide it to the end. Crease it back, the last 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, and then slide this all the way up to it. And now we're just going to roll it to get over it. I'm starting to get over it now. And just bring it all the way down until it comes out the other end. And when it gets to the end there, if you keep pulling it here, it acts like Chinese handcuffs and it won't go anymore. So you have to get on the part that's in front of that's not inside of it, and pull that so it comes through. And then it'll loosen the tighten portion that's tightening up. And then there's your tail out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock my tweezers onto that tail. I don't want to lose it. And now I'm going to line up the two marks here. So this mark and that mark are lined up. And then I'll pinch them together. Then I can let go of my... And then when I milk this down, it's going to suck that up inside because I started, you know, further than the distance that was initially. And it'll go right up inside of it. And there she be. And that's how you do an end loop splicing. And then what we do is we go to the sewing machine, and I'll mark, let me show you here, 15 millimeters from the Y, right there. Put a mark, and then I'll put that there, and then I'll go 30 millimeters from that mark. So we're going to sew from this point, 15 millimeters from the Y, to this mark here, which is 30 millimeter distance. We're just going to do a straight stitch. Straight stitch from there to there. It's going to be a density of, what is it, about 6 stitches per centimeter, if I remember right. And then you don't need to do a reverse stitch on either end. It's just a straight stitch, start, go, and stop, cut the thread, and then you melt the ends and smash them to mushroom it. So you can melt it with a cigarette lighter or I just use a thread burner. It's more precise. So that's how you do it. And then if you do it, you can do it without the insert also, and it's a lot quicker. Obviously, you're going to eliminate that step, and then just do what I did as far as splicing them together, and that's how she's done.